Steam is undeniably the place to sell your games, with some estimates showing their annual gross revenue around $6.5 billion. It would stand to reason that their platform must be super easy for developers to upload their games to. Well, you'd be wrong! Hi, I'm Aarimous, a full-time monkey masquerading as an indie developer. Over the last 3 months, I've been grinding away making my first ever commercial game, Chess Survivors. I set out on what I thought was going to be a small quest taking me about a weekend to throw together a Steam page. It turns out it became a hero's journey and took me a whole month to get done. In any hero's journey, the hero needs a wise elder to help teach them and show them the way. I found my wizard in the form of Chris Zakowski. Wait, did he say wizard? His thumbnail is clearly a Star Wars reference. Shh, you're missing the point. Chris said that the capsule artwork is the most important piece, and I remembered him saying,
first rule of making a capsule is don't make your own capsule.
So naturally, my first inclination was to make the artwork myself, and I came up with this beautiful piece of art. So I also remembered him saying this.
You might be really skilled, or think you might be, but it is just too high a risk to get your capsule wrong. I highly recommend that you hire a professional illustrator who has done capsule images in the past to do your capsule.
And then because of that, I decided to go ahead and actually pay for an artist. I dug deep into the budget, I figured out how to shift some things around, and if this truly is the most important thing, I decided to invest in it, and I think you should do the same. I headed over to the Game Dev Classified subreddit, scrolled through until I found a few artists that I thought that their art caught my eye and my style, and I ended up landing on an artist by the name of Holzart. After reaching out to Holzart and doing a little bit of negotiation, we settled on a price and about a 15% discount if I gave him a little bit of a review in one of my videos. So this isn't exactly sponsored, but we'll give it a sponsored with a little bit of an asterisk. Now, this was my first commission, so I was pretty hands-on as I wasn't really sure what was happening, and it turned out that Holzart was really okay with that and preferred me being involved every step of the way. I started off by giving a slight artist brief, which is just a slide deck with all of the things I wanted. So I showcased some of the capsules I really enjoyed. I showcased the kind of pose I wanted with the Joker. Then it was Holzart's turn to really kick it off, and he started with the line work, sharing it as soon as possible with me. I gave him the thumbs up to keep going. He started working on the artwork and refined it a little bit more, asked about what specific piece I wanted the Joker to be holding, and we ended up with the king piece there. So then you can see he refined it even further each step of the way, making sure I was excited about what was happening. He came back then with a few different choices for the logo, kept refining it further and further and further, and came up with this magnificent image. Holzart was incredible to work with, and I would highly recommend him to anybody who is trying to take their Steam page to the next level. There's a link below. Let them know that Aarimous sent you over there, and it was a blast. So thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart. One of the big things I will say as you are asking other artists or Holzart to do your artwork is make sure you get a bunch of the assets with you, because the next step here was getting the Steam page put together. If watching Chris Zakowski's video and reading his blog is the elder teaching you how to do it, well, creating your Steam page is the part when the elder dies and then you as the hero have to take it upon yourself to just figure it out with your own might and willpower. The very first thing you need to do is create that developer account, fill out some information, put in your tax information, which only took me about 5 or 6 times to get right. I'm not a tax man, I'm a simple monkey, remember. The next step from there was actually getting the application created, which is a simple $100 fee. You might hate it, you might love it, but ultimately it's gonna keep a lot of games off of Steam. But unfortunately, I still think there's a bunch of games on Steam, so the $100 is maybe more of a deterrent. Now their backend, that is definitely a huge deterrent, is people actually having to use the backend to create all the assets. Remember I was saying that it was important that Holzart gave me a bunch of these different assets? Well, you basically have to put on 40 to 50 different size images, putting your logos to different spots to make sure that it looks good and feels good with all the various places it could be. From there, you hop into a tagging wizard to make sure that you get your game tagged correctly, which honestly, the tagging wizard is a pretty nice feature. I will give that to Steam, that their tagging wizard was nice because you could kind of manipulate the priority of the tags to make sure that your target games or your similar games are gonna be in line. So for me, I was trying to get Vampire Survivors and 20 Minutes Till Dawn toward the top of my tagging wizard, and I think that was actually a pretty nice little thing. And then the last thing to do was get the trailer put together. Now, I'm not gonna talk in depth about my process for creating a trailer. I have quite a bit of experience editing together various YouTube videos, so I felt fairly comfortable with that. Needless to say, that's a very iterative process, and I kept uploading new versions onto the Steam page, and that takes some time. Like I said, it's a clunky old system in the background, and so the time from rendering a video to getting it up into my test Steam page took a while. On top of that, I was doing the same sort of thing with various screenshots, GIFs, and descriptions put inside of the Steam page. And that's the problem, I think. Each individual piece isn't bad in its own right. It's as you take it as a whole, there's a lot to get done, and I iterate a lot on each of these steps. And so something being clunky and taking me 30 minutes to do, if I do that 30 to 40 times over the course of the whole Steam page, it's a lot of work in the back end, and it really delays the process quite a bit. And in comparison to other modern tools I've used like YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, or even its competitor Itch, like it's just not up to snuff with the kind of streamlined pipeline you expect out of a modern platform. And now I had the Steam page created. But wait, that's not even getting the game on there. I've done all of that work and I don't even have a game on there. And so I decided to have a demo with the launch of my Steam page because I wanted you to come to the page and be able to play test the game. And so I've been working for the last 3 months on getting that demo put together. I have the demo ready to go. I have it over on Itch. I've been iterating really quickly on Itch, and it's so smooth to upload it. And now it's time to do the same thing on Steam. And this is honestly, this was the most frustrating part of the whole thing, was getting the executable file from Godot onto my desktop and then into Steam. I tried to read through the documentation. I couldn't understand it. If you Google anything with Steam, it just comes up with a bunch of consumers complaining about it. So any help that the developers have asked for or gotten over the years is buried underneath those things. And it turns out Steam actually does have a nice little GUI where you get to go ahead and grab the executable files, and then you can just kind of push it up through a pipeline as long as you put in your username and password correctly. And that still didn't work for me. It took me like 2 or 3 days of, I don't know, debugging. It just felt like I was bashing my head against my keyboard, and eventually, I don't even know what to tell you that I did that made it work, but it just started working. Maybe I had a banana that day and I was a good monkey. I don't really know, but I finally got the build up there, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels really good to have a Steam page created. I'm just really disappointed because I've used it as a consumer for so many years, and I've thought that the user interface of Steam is really, really nice, but man, the back end for developers is truly the dark side of Steam. It is a really, really rough thing to use, and even now, I'm not super confident when I put up a new build if it's gonna work or not work. So, my advice to you, after going through that nightmare experience that is creating a Steam page, is to 1, watch Chris Zukowski's video and take it to heart and rewatch it a few times. 2, pay someone to make your capsule artwork. If you're taking this seriously at all, it is the #1 thing you can do, and trust me, I feel so much better. Even if I spent a bunch of money doing it, I feel so much better. It looks professional, and it really does make your thing pop. 3, like and subscribe on this video. If you made it this far, come on, it's the thing to do. I don't like doing it either, but the people I like watching, I subscribe to them, and it helps out their channel so much more than you'll ever know. So hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below saying how much you like my mustache. Other than that, thank you so much to all my Patreon tier subscribers and my Prime subs over on Twitch. You guys mean the world to me. With that being said, I'm Aarimous. Have a wonderful day.